Second Labour Coast and Country virtual conference. I'm Councillor Dr. Pam Buchan, and I'm a Plymouth City Councillor and Marine Social Scientist and a Director of Labour Coast and Country. So for those who were just joining as I was speaking, if you can make sure to change your screen name, you can do this by hovering over your picture and there's a ... in the top right, and you can do rename from there. And then if you pop in your name and maybe your CLP or the place that you're from, that would be really helpful to see where everyone is. And if you can please stay on mute when people are speaking, unless we invite you to speak from the chair. We'll take questions and comments for some of the sessions, and if you pop those into the chat box, then we'll be able to respond to that, and that will be monitored. Excuse me. When the chair invites contributions, if you can use the raise hand function, that will be in the reactions on the bottom of your screen. And we are recording the session, which you should have been alerted to when you joined. That's so that we can pop it up online later on. So that's the house rules. We've got 6 sessions today, which will run until about 2 p.m. The sessions give a view from the coast and the country, because at Labour Coast and Country, we want a Labour Party which serves the whole nation, winning in English counties with policies which support the particular needs of rural, coastal and non-urban communities. Through this conference and our other Labour Coast and Country member engagement activities, we work to influence Labour Party policies. And there's a particular opportunity for this at the moment with Annalisa Dodd's Stronger Together policy review, looking at jobs, families and security, and the Rural Policy Review for England, which is being led by Daniel Zeichner, both of whom will be discussing these reviews later on today. At Labour Coast and Country, we've got 6 key asks. First, we want to see better representation for rural and coastal communities through empowered local authorities. Secondly, we want better connectivity for our remote and isolated communities. Thirdly, we want fairness in the climate change response, which critically considers the expectation that the rural land use sector will foot the carbon bill for urban emissions. And fourthly, we believe that rural economies should have a voice in trade negotiations. Fifth, we want clear commitments on tackling rural crime. And finally, we want to see a means of devolution for areas which are not centred around cities. So these principles and the issues affecting coastal and rural communities will receive attention in today's conference. The sessions will take in views from the coast and the country. They'll consider how we can build a future that serves the whole nation. We'll look at how we win in the local elections next year. And Hugh from Labour Coast and Country will introduce some more detail on these key asks. And we'll hear about the policy reviews, and then finally we'll be looking at what the next steps are for Labour Coast and Country. So before we move on to the rest of the programme, we felt it was important to acknowledge the recent shooting incident in Keam in Plymouth. Plymouth is a coastal community, and one that I and Luke Pollard, Labour's Shadow Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, represent in council and in government respectively. And we're still mourning the 5 lives taken from a friendly and close-knit community. So I'd like to invite you all now to join me in a minute's silence as we remember Maxine Chapman, Lee and Sophie Martin, Stephen Washington, and Kate Shepherd.